All right, folks. Welcome back to another segue of CCN. It's not your mother's TV station; it's your daddy's. Anyways, I thank everybody for showing up. It's going to be a fun ride. Waiting for brother Curtis to show up, and should have brother Santos blessing us with his presence here shortly, and just waiting for him to step on into the bow. And let me find. I think I found. Oh, there it is. Okay, there's my window. Make sure my window's up. Anyways. Folks, it's been a fast ride for the last couple of weeks. If you haven't been following along with what's going on, people are coming back home to their birthright, and it's imperative that we do this on authentication. Anyways, that's fine. Anyways, Santos is going to come on the second hour. That's fine. Okay. All right. Maybe brother Kurz will show up. We're still waiting for him. Anyways, folks, let me come back to where we're going. See, folks, if you don't go through pulling doing your authentication on the birthright, they consider it all abandoned property. I mean, folks, this is really a lot easier than you think, but they would have you think that it's real hard to get out of Mammon. It's actually not. It's there's actually a creative capacity administratively. You got to bring your birthright back home to the private side. If you're stuck in the public, you're in the dead man's side. That's the federal side, and that includes all the IMF-run countries, as well as like Australia, UK, Canada, Germany. Anybody that's under IMF-run countries, it all started with the birthright, and it's really simple. So that's the ground zero part of the circuit. If you once you ground it out and bring it back home, it basically it basically pulls you out of the dead man's side of the equation. You come back home to age of accountability, they call it. Anyways, it's under 220. Jonah and I did a huge call on this, breaking it down. Having success across the planet. People who are right-minded, who have eyes to see and ears to hear, not going as a belligerent, not warring, just administrating process. It's really, really simple. So we're going to create the direction of flow, and everybody needs to pay attention, because if you want to argue, go to war, or play in that realm, they're going to jam you up, because you're trying to cut to the front of the line. And that's the whole point, because until you bring yourself back home whole again, birth certificate is outstanding. It's an outstanding issue. Guess what? You're the issue. We've all been the issue since we were born, and they got a new estate that they created, and they put us up under that foreign citizen trust, and that's not where we belong if we're alive. So if you're dead, then that's where they got you stored. Curtis and I have covered this, the deeper level of this, on how they got your the DNA and claimed up on all that, because that was a new work that Mama created but gave over as the informant. So we're taking this little fast ride, and it's removing yourself from the chains that bind. It's you've got to make a decision. You've got to take an act. Anyways, hey folks, that's brother Curtis. 1 second. Hey folks, hey brother, I'm live and in color. Nope. Okay, well, come on in when you get to the house. Yeah, did you download the option for the Zoom? Oh, oh, okay, okay. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the link in your Skype. Yeah. Yep. I hear you. All right, very good, brother. I'll catch you in a couple minutes. All right. That was brother Curtis. Anyways, he'll be coming in about 20 minutes or so. So I guess I'm going to be left to my own devices. Anyways, folks, if you haven't been following CCN, this is an incredible open door for alternative news. All the alternative, the regular media hates probably what we're doing. We really don't care. We're bringing the truth forward. So I guess we don't want to be in fighting, but it's sort of fighting fire with fire. They've been jamming people up with their propaganda machine for since the TV came on the scene. So I guess turnabout's fair play. So, anyways, have a lot of good things coming forward. If everybody, we're going to go home, folks. So this is time to change the paradigm. This is a part of the planetary shift. This is part of the consciousness shift we talk about. But anyways, if you have eyes to see and ears to hear, you get to go home if you get it. But a lot of people don't get it. A lot of people are unaware that they're oblivious to the fact that they're oblivious to being a slave on the plantation. I tell most people that, and they just look at me like, I'm not a slave. Well, do you pay taxes? Yeah. Do you do this? Do you register your car? Yeah. Do you ask for permission and consent from your masters to do anything, i.e. Playing by their rules? If you answered yes to those questions, you are a slave. Nobody likes to be called a slave, folks. I understand it. However, then you need to remove yourself from the dead man side of the equation. And that's what we're been bringing forward. Been working on this stuff for many, many years. And what's nice is we don't have to go to war. We have the solutions to come back home for those that are ready. Those that poo-poo what I'm saying, great. Stay on the dead man side of the tracks, become a proverbial speed bump, and let me know how it works out for you. Because that's exactly what's going to happen for all the naysayers who keep throwing stones at pulling their punch card and coming back to age of accountability. If you fail to come back home, age of accountability, your shit is considered abandoned property. You have left it behind, and they're going to take care of your property for you till you come back home. So if you be found alive, like according to Sesky v. Trust, all rights, title, and hereditaments revest back to the man or the woman. But until you do, you have to take an action with your intent and actually administrate, because where it all started was at that birth certificate. So if that live certificate of birth, bring it back. We have an authentication process that we show people how to go to, and it's basically under 220. You're coming back, and you're rewriting the game. You're pulling the punch card, coming back home to the private, not to the public. Because if you're in the public, you're on the corporate side of this construct, this control mechanism, and the rules do apply because you consented. So everybody has the capacity and the ability to unconsent, and that already is coming forward worldwide. So it's all about solutions, creating a plausible, easy to follow, but you got to be paying attention to detail, folks. It's going to take a minute to get over the bridge, but it's going to be a nice ride, because once you break the ice, i.e. do the first step in the process, then you'll know what to do. We'll show you what to do in the next step. There's steps and procedures that can remove the presumption and perfect your capacity to be the man or the woman on the other side of this equation. So this is what's exciting. All this beautiful stuff that's coming forward. It's for lack of a better term, the poop's coming out the elephant, and they're not going to be able to put it back in. But anyways, we're not arguing. We're not going to war. We're just we want to settle. We want to settle the account. That's what the birth certificate is, and actually, it's actually a settlement certificate. Go figure. Anyways, on that note, we are moving forward. So everybody needs to tighten up. If you haven't seen what we do over at Privatis.Me and you want a little hand holding, just a little, I don't do a lot, but we'll give you direction to flow. I do every Thursday nights over at Privatis.Me. Friday, I'll be doing a special call on everything Privatis.Me, what we do, how we remove presumptions, how we unconsent, simple administrative processes that everyone can do and needs do to remove the presumption. Now you have a perfected security interest when you come back home and you go to the head of the line. You do get to go to the head of the line when you bring back when you authenticate with the Secretary of State at wherever you were born, in the Secretary of State of the United States. 2 steps. When it comes back, you're going to put it on the record with authentication as well for that estate to be back. You're basically you go to the head of the line because it's no longer considered abandoned property. But we didn't know we were supposed to come make a claim, so we never have. So for all those who keep saying lose a name, that's the wrong answer. Because if you don't do anything, Caesar's going to keep coming beating your brakes off and make you a speed bump, because your issue is still outstanding. That's the birth certificate bond. You haven't become age of responsibility or accountability to fix the problem. So you've got to go to the head of the line and create proofs. And I know a lot of people say, oh, I shouldn't have to do any of this. Well, yeah, you do, because on the day when you were born, mommy gave over and got that birth certificate bond. That's where you came into the public. So as well as coming into the public, you're going to go back into the public to get out of the matrix to go over to the private. But you got to let them know that you went back home, age of accountability through the authentication process, and that your shit's no longer hanging out in the wind as abandoned property. Believe me, they will have the irrevocable proof when they get that. They got no wiggle room. So we don't have to go to war, and we'll talk about how to pull your punch card from the office of person, because if you're got a mailbox out on the street, yeah, and you're using that first, middle, last, still you're considered operating on the dead man's side of the equation. That's why they can summons you, bring you back from the dead, deliver crap to your house, because you're in the you're not in the private side, you're in the public side. So it's imperative that if you haven't seen the Jonah videos, Kurt videos, and by the way, they're all indexed and libraried over at Privatis.Me, as well as CCN. CCN has all past calls in the video library over there. So if you haven't seen 5 and 6 with Kurt on Jonah on 5 and Kurt on 6, we're breaking it down, folks. We're showing you the way out. So it's time to dig in. If you want to come to class on Thursday nights, share the love. You can come into that house and spend 6 months, because it's going to take you a little while to get through this. But at least, you know what, I got the capacity to bring it forward with PowerPoint presentations so everybody can come to class in the private to get off the plantation. So this is really nice that, you know, as long as we operate in the private, I'm not doing, you know, like these seminars for FRNs out in the public, because if you do that, they will burn your house down with you in it, because now you're being a belligerent and you're operating the public, trying to steal the slaves off the plantation. So the slaves can meet me at the gate, and it's up to them if they want to pursue their free will to remove themselves from the chains that bind. That's the whole point of the exercise. So we're going to be learning how to operate in a whole different capacity over this next 12 months. So this is real exciting. So as we trip the light fantastic and go over the big bridge, we'll be tying in all the other loose ends to bring the estate back into its private capacity to operate. Yes, there's you got the trust, you got the estate, you got EIN 98s, 47s, stuff they don't really like me talking about. But we have to find a place for the estate to land. So we'll be covering that as we go. So this is exciting, really exciting, folks. Anyways, Brother Curtis should be rolling in pretty soon. Santos will be rolling in at the top of the hour. Anyways, for those who don't see, who haven't seen what we do at Privatis.me, feel free to go punch in YouTube. You can go ahead and punch in Privatis, Privatis.me. We have an 8-week free curriculum over there. I have the 3 free tours, which that's probably a good place to start, is going through the free tours, because it shows all the links, the informations, what we got stored on mind, body, and spirit. So we can shake the false belief system out of the head, and that's why we have an 8-week curriculum. I start with a birth certificate, then we go into the bonds. It's all posted over at Privatis.me for full members and even non-full members. Because in order for people to know that they got binded up, they got the 8-week curriculum will pretty much unleash the fact they've been lied to pretty much on every level of their entire life, from the military industrial complex to the voter rolls, to the pharmaceuticals, the medical pharma, all those poisons, the shot scam. All this stuff is meant to compromise the body. So they've done a real good job of programming everybody into these portals, these constructs, to control them. And most people have given over via consent, just like the religiosity. If you're claiming you know, a denomination, go figure. Look at the word denomination. That's de-no-men-nation. That's no men without a nation. It's in the words, folks. We just never look at them in this context. Anyways, if Kurt is coming on, I'm sure we're going to be doing some Black's Law definitions and some information is coming forward. But this is exciting, and I'm glad that this is now getting out there. It's time to free the planet. It's time to go live life on purpose, folks. That's what is going to happen for those that get it. They get to free themselves from the chains that bind, move across the big bridge, and those that have the right hearts and right minds get to go do something different with the rest of their lives. This ain't about the money; it's about control. And if you're sitting on the plantation side of this equation, the federal construct, then they do have the right to pretty much tell you whatever they want. Get your shots, do this, do that, because you have not, like I say, come back home to age of accountability. Until you do so, and that's this first step in the process is authentication to bring. So you can go to the head of the line. What you're doing is perfecting your interest. That's the whole point of authentication. It's perfecting the interest at the Secretary of State, the state level, and the federal level. To remove the presumption that the birth certificate is still outstanding. So this is a good part about this is we get to remove that presumption administratively, and pretty much I think all derivatives and whatever are going to start falling away. And then there's the DS11, some other things that people are going to need to do. I got some other right-minded star seekers coming down to meet up with me at the end of February, so we can move this train forward a little quickly, much more quickly, as far as bringing the estate back home. So it's exciting. Don't have to get scared, folks. They want you to run in fear. They don't want you to claim back your power. If everybody did this, well, the upside is dollar for dollar. When you terminate this part of the equation, you actually are removing the debt from out of the system, dollar for dollar. No more hypothecation on your head. So when you come home back to the private, yes, you're going to work out how to find a place for it to land. We're working on that because you have the minor accounts, the major accounts. Anyways, this is the stuff that is all being put together in this puzzle as we go. So that's we got people getting out in front of this, and we're having success. But we're not going to war. We're not fighting. We're not getting angry. We're just fixing the mistake, and we have the right to fix the mistake. We didn't know there was a mistake up until somebody started breaking it down. So we've been finding our way out, and this is where we all come together. So I'm real excited. Lots of things happening all across the planet. People are waking up. There is a way home. There's always a way back home. But for most, they got to cover a lot of ground to internalize in their head how they got binded up. So once they understand that, they can move forward and trade that pawn on the Monopoly game and pull the energy out of that issue. So, anyways, I wish I had two other guys in the show already. Now I'm left to my own devices to have to carry the ball. Anyways, that's fine. So for those who haven't been over to Privatis.Me, I'll just banter on that for a minute. Yeah, the links can be pulled up in short order very easily. Go to Privatis.me. Like I say, it's a good idea to watch the free tours. We broke this down in digestible chunks with the 8-week curriculum. Very, very good idea for everybody to start at the beginning. Otherwise, what they'll do is if you don't get it, they'll trip you up and try and trick you. This is not just a physical jaunt. This is a spiritual. It's emotional. It's a heartfelt shift in the mind. So for most people, we've got 5 generations that have been we've been following doing it wrong because they never asked the right questions, and now we're fixing to change that spectrum. So I'm real excited. I see a lot of activity across the planet as far as unfolding, between water sources, food sources, alternative medicines and stuff like that. I'll be covering that on future shows. Did a nice show on the second one. If you didn't see the one with brother, what's his name? Anyways, he's over at CannabisPaste.com, and he actually showed how to make the medicine much more efficiently instead of having to waste that whole pound. The terpenes that by the slow emulsification process actually converts your cannabis to medicine, and it's really easy to make. So I'll be reposting that video back here in the near future. So I know you got to be redundant because all these posts fall down the walls, and it's becomes an afterthought after the fact. So I'll be reposting that as well. Anyways, let me see if there's anybody in the house. Let me see. So he's on his way. Should be here soon. Okay, very good. Okay. Anyways, let me also I've got a international. It's called the International Cannabis Patients Wall, and I post up on alternative medical modalities for the planet. Folks, the solutions are everywhere, and they're all front and center. We just got to look for them. I mean, the problem is most people, because of the programming, don't look. They wait till the emergency comes on the doorstep before they decide to look at what's going wrong, and then they usually get binded up because they can't change their mind on the drop of a dime when they've been told they got cancer. So what they did is they didn't prepare for a rainy day, and the bears just come up upon the doorstep, and so now they get them operating in fear to hurry up and go get the chemo, the slash, cut, and burn technologies. Just posted a link today on that information, how they actually are inventing cancers that don't even exist. Matter of fact, I think about 50 to 70% of all cancers are false positives, but yet they're running them all through the system to make money off the slash, cut, and burn techniques across the planet. It's all about the money with these folks. They couldn't fix a faucet. So I mean. But then they've been programmed. That's what's happened with the medical community. You have 100 years of Rockefeller-fed bullshit. So all they know is chemical land. It's ironic that IG Farben and all these other clowns are behind all these poisonings, and say, hey, well, I guess we can do eugenics on the masses in a whole different way. They won't figure it out, and for the most part, they haven't, and except for the ones that are awake. So. Time to change the paradigm, folks. Time to wake up. Time to look beyond the bob. If you bury your head in the sand like an ostrich, you got your ass in the air, they're going to come by and kick it for you. And that's exactly what's happening to those that want to go to war. They want to argue, and they wonder why they got their head in the sand, they're getting their ass kicked. Not good, folks. Let's not go to war. Let's go to peace. Let's shut the door and move this train forward in a different way. So anyways, a lot of exciting stuff coming, folks. This is the year of the transformation. So those that get it, get on board. We're going to change this planet, and it's working. CCN is one of the primary adjuncts to putting all this information forward. Anyways, Biggie, I'm trying to promote the hell out of our page to make sure people are paying attention. Most people, they're still finding out that we're new here and on the scene, but I think we're making some progress and headway. Anyways, on that note, I guess we're still waiting to see Curtis and Santos, but they both will be in shortly. So right now I'm sort of carrying the ball. Let me see. Anyways, we did cover, I'm just going to cover a little bit on the birth certificate. Folks, yeah, this is about for authentication. This is a primary piece of the puzzle. It's a step on out. This was had a Jonah call. Anyways, let me read this to everybody so they get what we're trying to accomplish here. Under Rule 220, the Register of Titles is authorized to receive for registration of memorials. That's your birth certificate, because you already died. You're already considered the decedent as far as they're concerned. Registration of memorials upon outstanding certificate. That's what that birth certificate right now, until you bring it back for authentication. It's called an outstanding certificate of title. And anyways, an official birth certificate pertaining to a registered owner has not come forward. So you need to come forward as one of the registered owners named in said certificate of title showing the date of birth of said registered owner, providing there is an attached to said birth certificate an affidavit of an affiant who states that he or she is familiar with the facts recited, stating that the party named in said birth certificate is the same party as one of the owners named in said certificate of title, and that thereafter the register of title shall treat said registered owner as having attained the age of majority at date of 18 years after the date of birth shown by said certificate. See, folks, they're telling us right here. Age of accountability. We never knew we were supposed to come back home. The upside is it all started with the registrar, and that's where they're going to get noticed as well, and they will have total clarity that once it's authenticated, we're going to send them a certified copy, because that's where the circuit started for the game. And now that no longer is that certificate laying outstanding for them to use for hypothecation. We basically, this shuts the door. This is a starting point. This is a first step. There's more steps, folks. But we'll bring those steps forward as we go. First things first, come into the house over at Privatis, and let's get you started with your authentication process. Until you've done that, nothing else matters, because you're going ahead of line. You're trying to cut in line, and the king doesn't like it when you cut in line. Matter of fact, he's going to whack you. So he won't if you do this, because you're no longer cutting in the head of line. You found out who you are, and you came back home of age of accountability. Now, what we're doing, like I say, is when the authentication process gets done, they're actually you're actually perfecting your interest. You become first in line, first in time. You become a party of interest to it. Until you do this, you are not the party in interest, because you have not brought your estate back into a grounding moment. So you haven't brought it to completion. So this is imperative for the planet to understand that once you do the authentication, you've literally cut the first primary Gordian knot. You can move forward with completing the rest of the processes, which is a good idea. You need to have a place for your stuff to land. You can't use public banking. You're going to use private. I actually, Biggie posted a link just a couple days ago. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, I was going to post it on our page too. Let me scroll down. Anyways, somebody asked me what's up with the show. I'm on the show. Okay. Anyways, it's all good. Sorry, folks. Anyways, this is what happens when I'm flying the plane by myself over here. Anyways, let me scroll on down on our Facebook page. Yeah, we have a special Facebook page. I like to post stuff in real time for everybody to see. Let me scroll on down. This is Facebook Learn to Live in Private. Okay, yeah, 10 reasons why you need an offshore bank account. If you're in the dead man side of the equation, you're in a public banking repository, that's all considered abandoned property too, because you're using the first, middle, last name that you're basically you a step to the head of the line. It's all considered abandoned property until you come back home to the private. Right now, you're stuck in the public, so that's why you got the Public Banking Act. That's why they can steal everything. And yeah, the haircuts are coming for America. 401ks are us, as well as any other pile. So for everybody who insists that I'm wrong, well, they're going to find out a different way when they take all your stuff, and it is their stuff, folks, because you haven't come back home. You haven't come back to age of accountability, so it's all considered abandoned property. Nobody reads the contracts they sign when they sign for the bank account. Yeah, you're going to have to replace your position over to the private side and get out of the public. We've had people already do that. So this is neat. That we're finding the rest of the equation as we go, and we'll make it available to the masses as we go as well. So very, very nice. Anyways, but this one link, I guess I didn't talk on this. So the 10 reasons why you need an offshore bank account. So let's talk about that for a second. I'll post this link over on CCN later because everybody needs to see this. I'm opening up the link. Okay. And I'll post that later at the end of the show if it lets me in. All right, there it is. Okay. Anyways, this came out January 24th. It's over on Activist Post. Anybody's familiar with them? They share some really good stuff. Let's say you may have wondered, let's cover this. You may have wondered what's the difference between having a bank account at Bank of America and having an offshore bank account. The truth is there's possibly all the difference in the world, and there is. The truth is, anyways, here are the top 10 reasons why you need an offshore bank account. Number one, dilute your political risk. Doug Casey has said over and over that the biggest risk you face today is not market or financial risk, as big as those risks are, but rather the risk of your own, the corporations, government. There's no doubt this kind of risk is rising in most parts of the West. Governments are hopelessly sinking deeper and deeper into insolvency. They're turning to the same desperate measures they always have throughout history, and it's a big threat to your savings. So it's only prudent to expect more bail-ins, as we've seen in the Cyprus event that happened over a year ago. They gave them a 40% haircut, and none of them cried too loud, so they left, didn't have turning of the country upside down, even though most people were mad. They just, I guess, as long as they had their channel changer, their beer, and their TV, I guess everything wasn't that bad. Anyways, well, they gave them a 40% haircut. I'm just trying to state a point. Anyways, it's only prudent to expect more bail-ins, as in Cyprus, bank deposit taxes, as we've seen in Spain, retirement savings nationalizations, as we've seen in Poland, Hungary, Portugal, and Argentina, and capital controls, as we've seen in Cyprus and Iceland, among their other destructive actions. And these are just a few recent examples. If you think these kinds of things can't happen in your country, think again. According to Judge Napolitano, people who have more than 100 grand in the bank are targets for any government that's looking for money to shore up its own inability to manage its finances. A big part of any strategy to reduce your political risk is to place some of your savings outside the immediate reach of the thieving bureaucrats in your home country. Well, see, Biggie, if we go back home to the private again, and you procedurally set up your common law trust and put all your stuff under the estate, your EIN 98, now you got a place for your shit to land. And that's the whole point. Most people don't realize that if they're on the public side of the equation, they own nothing. Our objective is just to own nothing and control everything. That's what all these people at the top of the pecking order, who are no longer under this construct, have been doing for years and years. We're just coming into our own, finding this out, but they've known this stuff for hundreds of years, and we were last in line. But that's all right. We found out now, so we're going to operate with free will. So let's cover reason number 2, sounder banking systems and banks. Almost all the banking systems in the Western countries are fundamentally unsound, leveraged to the hilt, and backed by promises of insolvent governments. Worse, most of these banks only keep a tiny fraction of cash on hand to meet customer withdrawal requests. This means that in the event of financial shock, like another Lehman-style event, you could have trouble accessing your funds. If you look to bank in a jurisdiction with low debt and a history of stability, you can find banks that don't gamble with customer deposits, i.e. your money, but it's not your money. Nobody read the contract. Anyways, are much better capitalized, keep more cash on hand, and otherwise much more conservatively run than those in the U.S. Offshore banks are almost always more responsible custodians of your hard-earned savings. Number 3, asset protection. Maybe you think it's just other people who live on the lawsuit firing line and you live somewhere else. Think again. The Legal Resource Network reports that 15 million lawsuits are filed into the U.S. every year. Well, here's another thing that's nice. If they get off the plantation, then they can't be on the firing line because they got no business with them. They can't lay claim on something that's been brought back to completion. So that's another positive for why you want to leave the plantation. You set up your private side account, set up yourself to operate in a different capacity, and it's no longer considered under a foreign citizen trust. So got lots of stuff coming to share that in reference to. Anyways, they talk about higher interest rates on number 5, ensure access to medical care abroad, the ability to act quickly. Number 8, maintain limited privacy. Well, if you're in the private, they can't. It doesn't matter what you have in your other side of the account, because that's your business, and that's you can operate in a different capacity. Anyways, I guess we're still waiting for the boys to come in, Curtis and Santos. Hopefully they'll be here shortly. Anyways, that's 10 reasons why you need an offshore bank account. Anyways, as I scroll down, got a lot of stuff posted. Like I said, if you haven't seen the incredible medical modalities, the alternatives on the cannabis page that we have, feel free to go to the International Cannabis Patients Wall. finally posted that back out this week, and more people are enjoying the benefits of the alternatives. And they show proofs with cancer patients who have literally terminated 4-stage cancers. I like to put success stories on over there because they don't like us talking about the dirt cheap alternatives for the planet because they can't make no money off of it. Well, that's why we got to learn how to take care of our machine. That's why it's always about mind, body, and spirit, and we cover all those aspects over at Privatis.Me. So this is if you're looking for the fast track, if you're looking to change your mind and move forward into the private, then there is a way out. So anyways, if I had some music to play, I'd be playing One Way Out right now by Allman Brothers Band for everybody. Anyways, on that note, still waiting for our boys to show up. All right, participants. All right, okay, we still waiting for the gentleman. Anyway, sorry folks, I didn't mean to get caught flat-footed like this. Anyways, yeah, I can go back to what Curtis covered a couple days back. He did a really good job of, we talked about apostasy. We talked about the founding document that they do at the beginning. Anyways, they've done some really neat things to grab us and control us, and most stuff we're totally unaware of. But like I said, we don't have to get mad. We don't have to get upset. We just have to change our mind and operate in a different capacity and retire that outstanding certificate that's sitting out there in dead man's land. They're waiting for us to come home. So all my brothers and sisters that are out there, like in some of these other countries, are trying to cut to the front of the line when they do a 206 form with the Vatican. The problem is the birth certificate is still not been authenticated. It has not been brought home. So nobody's getting no joy, no love over there who try to cut to the front of the line with the Vatican. No need to go to the Vatican. You got to go where this source is, where it started. And it started with vital stats, and that'll get noticed as well when you complete your authentication process. They'll be in the circuit to receive some certified documents. So now they can't have any ambiguity about that you left anything behind. So anybody that tries to cut to the front of the line from there on out after you've done your DS-11, removed yourself out of the office of person off the postal process, you've basically shut the door on the public side to be binded up by these control mechanisms. But like I say, until you come home, they think you're happy with where you're at, so they get to operate against you in a different capacity. So now we get to change that. So this is a huge, huge jump for the masses that there is a way out. Anyways, they never expected us to find it. So it's going to be exciting. It's going to be one hell of a ride this year. I've got lots of stuff coming forward. We're tightening up all the loose ends. So looking forward to everybody stepping inside, those that are ready to, we can share this with the world, with the planet. Because it is time for a change, folks. You know, the slash, cut, and burn, they killing the planet, all this other stuff. There's got to be solutions to everything. So, and that's what we're bringing forward with here at CCN on multiple levels. Anyways, I'm excited to be here in this venue, and we got to share this with the masses worldwide. This is the whole point of the exercise. Is yeah, we don't have to live a life of quiet desperation. So that's the whole point of coming back home again, to go live life on purpose, do something else for the rest of your life. Imagine not having to punch a time clock for the rest of your life. What would you do with yourself? What would you do to change your planet? What would you do to change your world? Or would you go back inside yourself and just go hide and not do anything to affect a positive on your planet? The whole point of this alignment with all of us, folks, is to come together collectively and change the paradigm. Anyways, on that note, I guess we're still waiting for the gentleman. Okay. All right. Anyways, big yellow when I get hung out in the lurch here. Anyways, yeah, follow up. Anyways, folks, let's see what else we got. talk about time is speeding up. Yeah, folks, if you haven't paid, if anybody hasn't seen, nice video. It's called the Violet Flame in 188 in 5D, and give you a whole different perspective of the shift that's happened. The planet is moving a little bit fast. Everything's moving a lot faster. We are actually in a transitional shift. We're not stuck in 3D low drag. So, anyways, let's see what else I can share. Anyways, I'm getting at a loss for words, Biggie. I mean, that's go figure. I need somebody bantering with me on the other side of the page, which I know I got two coming in here shortly. Anyways, let's talk a little bit about last Friday. We had Golden Goddess Crystal on. If you missed that, great video, that great video and overview on bringing the love vibration up. Yeah, go see that link. It's over at CCN as well, stored in the repository for everybody to see and how we can bring up this love vibration up on the planet. Anyways, let's take a look. What else we got? Okay, I'm getting stuck. Anyways, I did post over at Privatis.Me. If you, for those in USA Inc. need to order your birth certificates, you're in a different state, you can go to Vital Check Express. Make sure you check mark the box for travel because you're going to be changing up your status after we get done with the authentications. Then you got to do a properly procedurally correct DS11 so you can travel in your capacity as a man or the woman in the private. So that'll be another step we'll unleash. Anyways, that will be fun. Okay, what else do I cover? Anyways, yep, got Like Silk Productions is where his crystal stuff is. Anyways, I posted some drumming stuff for everybody to get their vibration up. I also got Secret Agent Knowledge by Greg Braden. I'd love to get Greg on the show. Working on getting Ty Bollinger. He's Mr. Cancer Alternative, done some incredible work. It has a free newsletter I post every month to everybody to tell them to go grab it and share it. He's bringing forth this paradigm shift and sharing all this neat stuff as well. So, yeah, it's time for me to align with all my brothers and sisters who are doing some heavy lifting on this planet. Anyways, let's take a look at... anyways, I do, if you go partially down my Facebook page, I do still have the link for... Jonah's call with Brother Peter and Justin, and that will give you a lot more clarity on what we're talking about on the birth certificates and the authentication. But on Thursday nights, I'll be actually doing classes, so I'll give more specifics there because I can't do this in the public on that part, but I can do it in the private. Anyways, let's see where we're at. All right, chat. All right. Yeah. It's, anyways, yeah, brother. If you can play a little video, I'm, any of my, matter of fact, any of my Privatis.Me free tour videos. I got the first one's 20 minutes, the second one's 10 minutes, and the third one's 10 minutes as well. Mind, body, and spirit. So I'll tell you what, that'd be a great idea. We'll coast, and if you'd like, I can grab that. Here, let me grab that for you, brother. It'll be real easy. I got it right here. Here we go. Anyways, click on the link, and we could just do a free tour. Number 2 would be great. Here it is. I'm going to give you the link. I'm popping. It's only 10 minutes, but it'll give people what's going on, where we have everything that we have at our house in the education page. It actually shows PowerPoints and the links and the information. Talk about the banking, the IRS information's showing proof that they're a private corporation. So all that stuff's in that repository. Let me get back to Biggie. I lost my way. Too many portals, folks. Okay, here we go. There's the link. In fact, if that will help you, Brother Biggie, there's my link for the Privatis.Me. I can go and get the maybe let me just get the part 2. Make it easy. Actually, I'm grabbing it now. This would be a 10-minute ride for everybody. They need to see what we do over at the house so they can get out. Sorry, folks. All right, skip ad. Anyways, there it is. Anyways, Brother Biggie, I put the part 2 link in your box if you want to go ahead and run that for 10 minutes while we're waiting for our brothers to show up, Kurt and Santos. That'd be fantastic. All right. Let me find you. All right. Anyways, Zach, is that doable, Brother Biggie, to play this 10-minute video? That's the second link I posted at 4:47. All right. Sorry, folks.
The current state of human society and culture in the 21st century is not the result of organic evolution.
And I think we have a caller. Let me see here. Hi, you're on the air. May I have your name?
And I just wanted to call in to say thank you to Lisa and to Wendy and to everybody for just always being there. So recently, through all that's happened, I just 2 months ago, I was like, we got to buy a new TV. I bought a smart TV. I never watched TV. I didn't even know why I wanted a smart TV. And I was like, this is weird, but just went with it, bought the TV, put the TV up. And now, every night when I come home, I put on CCN. And my whole family sits and watches it.
Oh,
and they're like, what is this? What is this? And tonight it was on, and my son was walking around, and he turns around and goes, it's like these people are talking directly to you. And I was like, yes, they are. And it's been a really great, I just wanted to share that because here I went from having my earphones in and having nobody listening to me to now it's on. We discuss it constantly. And I just wanted to say thank you because if it wasn't for you, I probably wouldn't be here, and I would be, like a zombie like everybody else. And I just try to remember that all the time. And your empathy and your compassion is powerful, and your kindness to everyone who steps in and questions you and doesn't quite get it or gets defensive. I've always been amazed through all these years of how powerful your empathy is that you express to people. And it's a wonderful thing. And I know you worked so hard at this, and I just wanted to take a moment to tell you how grateful I am and to let you know that it does penetrate out and that everybody is, I have a whole family now that's like, what's this? And interested and asking questions.
That's
That's
awesome. I mean, you've got kids?
Well, they're grown, they're adults, but they're here. I have 4 kids, 2 live at home, and my husband, and they're all quite interested. I like it.
Well,
yeah.
Mel and Biggie will be very, 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 very happy in the background there, knowing that CCN's playing at your place all the time. That's brilliant. I mean, that was the hope. That was the hope to get this.
And when you
through the mainstream.
When I heard that one time on TV, I was like, yeah, and nobody turns it off, nobody walks away. Everybody kind of stays and is glued to the TV. And I'm like, this is amazing. So you guys are doing fabulous work. And once again, I just want to say thank you so much. I love you guys. You do a great job.
Oh,
thank you so
too. Thank you so much for calling in and sharing that. It's great to hear. And, we always encourage people to give feedback and, please keep calling in and share experiences and share as you're growing through this journey, share it with us. We want you to be a part of this. And that's why we have the live call number for you guys to call in and, stay in touch. And, we want to be a part of your journey, please.
Well, I do certainly feel that way, and I am so grateful. Thank you. So carry on.
We sure will.
And here's to a bright future, right?
Yeah.
Same to you. Thanks.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Have an amazing night.
And
You too. Thanks.
I just wanted to add that CCN is there as a resource for us all. You know, I mean,
yes,
it's a resource for the alternative media to have a platform like this to broadcast from, but it's also a really good resource for everybody who watches and follows and listens to alternative media to be able to introduce it in a familiar and family-friendly way to those who would normally be watching CNN instead of CCN.
Exactly.
And that was always the vision. So it's there for us all.
Definitely.
And I'm eternally grateful to Biggie and Mel, because I mean, this was our concept within One Network. This is exactly what we wanted to do. These were the plans, and it was this one element, the live video broadcasting, that was the trickiest one to overcome, because it requires a lot of money,
Yes.
And a lot of resources, a lot of technology, and it was, we don't have any of that. So even though we set the, I mean, to me, it was a brilliant exercise in manifestation. We put the intent out there. I did all the research, and I knew what a big job it was going to be. And then along comes these two and says, "Hey,
yeah, you guys, they're amazing, and I want to say thank you too on the show to both Mel and to Biggie, because you guys are incredible, and and I'm honored, like I said, to be a part of this. This means a lot to me, to be able to reach people and to help them, and you guys are just incredible. And on that same note that you're talking of, that Lisa, truly, Biggie's messaging.
Biggie's blushing in the background.
I love it. But truly, it is very expensive, and if you guys can donate, please do so. I know that, we do ask to do that. You need to understand that, we do this because it's our passion. It's from our heart. And, we don't have the financing, not any one of us individually. It is about trying to come together, and we're donating our time to do this. And we want to do this. I don't want to give the impression that this isn't what we want to do, but we could use your help. So if you guys can make some donations, please do so. And, I know that times are tough for everybody. And even if there's only way for you to donate $1 or £1, whatever the currency is where you're at, do that. Any little bit between a whole group of people adds up. So do whatever you can, and keep us on the airwaves. But definitely, please donate if you can.
I have to just let people know that what Mel and Biggie do is they're in the background producing and running the studio 24/7, just the two of them.
Yes.
So every show that you see on CCN, Biggie's in the background. And he sleeps in little segments throughout the day in between shows. So it's a big job. It's a 24-hour job, literally, for him, for both of them. And I think they do an amazing job.
All right, folks. Welcome back. And here, let me get this taken care of. Here, hold. Anyways, folks, my two guests seem to have gotten binded up today. Brother Curtis is handling something else. He's physically not within earshot to be on the show. And Santos, I guess, apparently must have got binded up as well. So, you know what? I have the power. I'm going to go ahead and end this call, and I will get them realigned with those two and reschedule them probably for Tuesday. But welcome back. Come back Friday. And, I'm going to be sharing everything at Privatis.Me, what we do over there to make this into this shift and transition. And we're going to be sharing a whole lots of stuff on Privatis.Me that you've never probably seen, and this will give you a lot more clarity to move forward. Anyways, on that note, Biggie, I guess we're going to call the ball.